Hey guys, what's up? Hopefully you're all doing well. Today's restaurant was recommended by a viewer, Paul Hayashi. He DM'd me on Instagram and told me about this place in Wahiawa. So this is for all you Central people. It's called Arlene's Mini Market and Poke. It used to be, per Yelp, Choi's Mini Mart and Poke, but I guess they sold it to this nice, sweet mama-san, Filipino mama-san. She's there by herself. And she ships in fresh ahi fish and makes poke bowls and nigiri sushis and other amazing items with the fresh fish. And so I went there, and the funny thing is, I'm sitting there. I got there early. I believe they open at 11. Sometimes a little later I did call her, so definitely call her before you go if you want to go early, because she said she was running a few minutes late, and because they were waiting for their shipment of fish. Because every day they get fresh ahi from the auction. There was Paul sitting right next to me, and I'm like, you look very familiar from your picture on Instagram. Never met him before, but very nice guy. And that was just weird, just coincidence that the person that recommended the place to me was sitting right next to me, also ordering his poke bowl. So getting into the food, I got, they don't just do poke bowls, they do sushi. So I got the nigiri set. This has salmon and fresh ahi. You can see the big ahi blocks that come in the fridge. She prepares it fresh, made to order, and you can see her, it's kind of an open kitchen cutting the fish. It looks delicious. With your nigiri, you get your generous portion of pickled ginger, which I don't really eat, but it's a good palate cleanser if you're into it. Your shoyu, and the wasabi is in the plate here, so you can mix it in with your shoyu, which I like, because usually you go to places and they give you those packets of shoyu and you don't have a little bowl to put it in. So this is nice to separately dip it in instead of it spilling all over on your main container. So let's take a taste of this ahi. Pretty generous, thick cuts. Wow, that's delicious. You can taste the freshness. They do not sell any previously frozen ahi. It's just almost fake looking. Sorry about the light, but pretty good rice to ahi ratio. And the shoyu they're using is definitely Kikkoman or something other than Aloha shoyu, so it's a good flavored shoyu for sushi. I will say though, for the sushi rice, it's not too vinegary. So if you're expecting like sushi grade or sushi bar type of rice, it's not quite the same. It's kind of plain, which is fine. Let's taste the salmon. Very delicious looking. Salmon's one of my favorite sushis. Has a nice bite to it, so you know it's fresh salmon. Pretty thick cuts as well. And the rice is nice. It's room temperature, not too cold, like it's been in the fridge, but not hot either. And it's cooked perfect. It's not mushy or anything like that. All right, I scarfed that down real good, but I guess I waited a long time. So the story is, if you're in a rush, definitely do not go right at opening because she wasn't ready yet because of the late shipment of the fish. She did not pre-cut anything, so, and everything's made to order, she says. So it's not like you go into Foodland where it's all in a container. She actually mixes the poke, whatever you order, right there in a bowl. So she cuts up the fish and everything. I got there at, I looked at my clock, 11:07, and there was only Paul there. So she was finishing up his order. I did not leave till 11:51, I think. And that's a long time waiting. She did apologize profusely, and I felt really bad. I didn't complain, but I guess she felt uncomfortable. She's only there by herself, like I said. So definitely go a little bit later if you can, maybe a little after opening, so she has time to chop up the poke cubes and slice the fish. So everything she was doing at the time when I ordered, she had to start by scratch since she just got her shipment of fish. So she was very kind, and she says the nigiri came with the rice, but she gave me 2 free pieces of the salmon and the ahi as a thank you for waiting. So that's very nice of her, and I appreciate it. If you're wondering what the cost of that nigiri sushi set is with the fresh ahi and the salmon, It is $10.95, quite a deal. All right, so what I got next was their poke bowls. They have different ones. They have Inamona poke, just a limu poke. They have ahi shoyu and salmon. I got the spicy ahi. It looks very wonderful, smells delicious, nice and creamy with some green onion and onions also in there. You get two sides. You can pick, I couldn't really quite hear her, but I believe one of the sides is tegu. You can have fresh cucumbers and avocado. I decided to get the avocado and cucumbers because it seems to go well with something mayonnaise-y, and you get the rice with the furikake. Very pretty presentation. I even saw her cutting a fresh avocado right there for me, so it's not sitting in a container getting brown or anything weird, so it's freshly cut. You can definitely taste the freshness of the fish. The onions complement it well with this spicy ahi. Just gives it a nice oniony flavor with a nice crunch. Rice is cooked perfectly, not soggy, not undercooked. The only thing is it's hot rice. And I've already said that in my Ono Poke video that I'm not a fan of it because you got to eat it fast. But you know what? It tastes good and it's fresh. You can definitely taste the freshness of the ahi, that it was caught and flown in today. So I have no complaints. The seasoning's on point for the spicy ahi. It's that mayonnaise, nice light spice taste that you would expect as a local. Sometimes you go to a place and they either put too much spice or they put weird funky things in there like too much sesame seed oil, which I don't think belongs in it. This is what you would expect out of a original spicy ahi poke taste, and she seasons her food really well. All right, let's taste some of the sides. It's just plain fresh cucumber, nice presentation with the little stripes with the skin. Nice and fresh, good crunch. Goes well with the mayonnaise in the fish. And I think it's a good combination and it's healthy. All right, let's taste some avocado. Avocados are quite expensive, and I got about 5 slices. Pretty good slices, and like I said, I watched her slice it and peel it. Not brown and sitting there and nasty, nice and creamy and not underripe, so perfect to go with this poke bowl. What I like too is it's a pretty hefty bowl packed with food, and it'll definitely fill you up, and it's around the same price as other poke bowls around the area on Oahu, so definitely give her your business. She's a small, obviously mama-san in her little shop, and she makes awesome food. Everything was seasoned well, and the rice was good. Sushi, she made it perfect nigiri, can't complain. And for that delicious poke bowl with the spicy ahi, it is $12.50. All poke bowls are the same price, so if you don't like spicy ahi, you can pick a different type of poke. The only con, like I said, which is manini to me, is that it took a long time, but you have to be understanding and see that she's by herself and that she has to have time to chop up everything. And I think, to me, if you're not on a time crunch, I think the value and quality of it with her and you watching her cut that fresh ahi from that slab and actually make your poke made to order just for you, and it's not coming out of a pre-mixed vat of poke, is kind of, I think, worth it. It's good to see that she made each thing separately and it's very clean in there, so I thought it was worth waiting. But because I have to wait, I didn't expect to wait, I have to do something, and it took longer than expected, so I'm going to keep this short. And I hope you support Arlene's Mini Mart and Poke Shop in the heart of Wahiawa on Kane Street. She's a sweet lady, and definitely give her your business. Even though it's a small shop, she does take credit cards and cash, so lots of parking in the front. Even though it looks crowded where I filmed, there was lots of parking down the whole block. So street parking, in and out, can't go wrong. Visit Arlene's, support your mom and pop businesses here in Hawaii, and I'll see you next time. Press the like button if you like this and found it informative. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next week. Peace out.